Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Library Marketing Show. I'm Angela Hursh from superlibrarymarketing.com, and today I'm taking a viewer question. This person wrote in, they work for a very small library. There's a neighboring library that's much larger. There's some competition going on there. The person from the small library feels like the larger library is pulling patrons from their community, and they want to know how to compete with the larger library. Fascinating question. In a moment, I'm going to answer it, but if you would like to suggest a topic for a future episode of the Library Marketing Show, just go to my website, superlibrarymarketing.com, and click on the Library Marketing Show tab. Okay, so I have 3 ideas for this small library that's having this particular problem. The first one is to make a list. This is a very simple thing. Make a list of the things that make your library different from the larger library. You're going to have some of the same things. You're going to have a collection. You're probably doing some similar programming, maybe just on a smaller scale. But there are things, I know there are things that your small library provides that the large library does not. Probably better customer service. A smaller staff gets to know their community more closely so that folks coming into your library are going to recognize people behind the desk, people working, putting things on the shelves. They're not going to get that same kind of experience at a larger library. That is a point of difference, and that will appeal to your community. And I'm certain there are a whole bunch of other things that your library has that set it apart from your larger neighboring system. So just make yourself a list. It's going to remind you those are the things that you need to be promoting to your community as differentiation points. The second thing I want you to think about is, what does your community need? So again, that larger library is serving a completely different community. They may have a bigger collection, they may have more services, but the community that they're in is different from your smaller town or city. So write a list of the ways that your library meets the needs of your specific community. And that list is going to be the basis for things that you will use to promote your library. Again, I think customer service is going to be on there. You probably have a better sense of the needs of school kids in your community, the needs of the elderly in your community, the needs of the unhoused and the underserved populations that are going to set you apart. Those are things your library can focus on that the larger library cannot. Believe me, I've worked in a large library. It's very bureaucratic, and they can't do that personalized, community-focused work that smaller libraries can do. And that's something that sets you apart. And the third thing I want you to consider is looking at your large neighboring library as a partner, not a competitor. There may be ways the 2 library systems can collaborate. They may give you access to their databases that you might not have the budget to purchase. Or you could have a collaborative card where people could check out ebooks and audiobooks from the larger library. So you still get them as patrons. They still can come into your physical branch, but now you're supplementing your collection with things from that larger library. Perhaps the larger library can come to your library and help out with programming, or give you ideas on how to execute programming at a smaller scale. So those can be ways that can build the strength of your smaller library in collaboration, and kind of use some of those larger resources to your benefit. So those are my 3 tips. I hope that was helpful. I am certain that there are viewers in my audience from small libraries who have thoughts to add. Please do so down in the comments, because I know this viewer is going to be looking there. You can also go to superlibrarymarketing.com and click on the Library Marketing Show tab to talk to me, or to nominate yourself, your library, or another library for Kudos in an upcoming episode of the Library Marketing Show. And today's kudos goes to all of the winners of the PR Xchange Award. They were given out a couple of weeks ago at the ALA annual conference. There were dozens of libraries doing great work in public relations that were honored by my friend, Mark Aaron Polger. I am going to put a link down in the show description to the slideshow that he had for the award ceremony, so that you can see all of the winners. You can even go there to look at what they did. what their winning entries were. It can be really fascinating, and you might get lots of great ideas for promotion at your library. So kudos to the PR Xchange award winners. Thank you for spending time with me again. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Comment, let other people know how you're working on competing with larger libraries at your library system. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.